absence, and I am your presence. And where these two meet, a vanishing happens. The unknown is revealed. The unknown is revealed. I am your absence, and you are my presence. You are my absence, and I am your presence. And where these two meet, a vanishing happens. The unknown is revealed. The unknown is revealed. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Orvarokamiva Bandhanam Mrityormukshiyamamrita. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Orvarokamiva bandhanam mrityormukshiyamamrita. I am your absence, and you are my presence. You are my absence, and I am your presence. And where these two meet, a vanishing happens. The unknown is revealed. The unknown is revealed. I am your absence, and you are my presence. You are my absence, and I am your presence. And where these two meet, a vanishing happens. The unknown is revealed. The unknown is revealed. The unknown is revealed.
Give nothing left, do nothing left. Take me away until only I
You give emptiness to emptiness. Take me away. The lonely wave rises, it is ocean. Before desire moves, it is emptiness. Give everything to everything. Take what I am not, until only You give nothingness to nothingness. Take me away, until only This eternal moment, there are no desires. Just keep quiet and see what you really are. Before a wave rises, it is ocean. Before desire moves, it is emptiness. You give nothingness to nothingness. Take me away, until only You give emptiness to emptiness. Take me away, until only You give nothingness to nothingness. Take me away, until only You give emptiness to emptiness. Take me away, until only Sri Lord Shiva Bhagavati Sri Ma Durga Bhagavati Sri Hare Rama Bhagavati Om Shri Hare Hare Hare. Om Shri Hare Hare Hare. Shri Hare Krishna Bhagavati Shri Siddhartha Bhagavati Shri Lord Christ Bhagavati Om Shri Hare Hare Hare. Om Shri Hare Hare Hare. Shri Lord Shiva Bhagavati Shri Ma Durga Bhagavati Shri Hare Rama Bhagavati Om Shri Hare Hare Hare. Om Shri Hare Hare Hare. Shri Hare Krishna Bhagavati Shri Siddhartha Bhagavati Shri Lord Christ Bhagavati Om Shri Hare Hare Hare. Om Shri Hare Hare Hare. Shri Ramana Bhagavati Shri Punjaji Bhagavati Shri Mujiji Bhagavati Om Shri Hare Hare Hare. Om Shri Hare Hare Hare. Shri Lord Shiva Bhagavati Om Shri Hare Hare Hare. Om Shri Hare Hare Hare. Dyraste i världen. Du är som himlarna, som vindarna, som vågorna, som fåglarna, som blommorna och marken. Vreden är ditt vackra namn. Tryggheten är din stolta moder. Kunskapen din broder, freden din syster. Kraften är din fader, tomheten din källa. Du är min ledstjärna och vän. Du är min tro, mitt hopp, min kärlek. Du är mitt blod, mina lungor, mina ögon, mina tankar, mina händer och mitt hjärta. Du är det finaste jag vet. Du är det dyraste i världen. Du är som himlarna, som vindarna, som vågorna, som fåglarna, som blommorna på marken. Friheten är ditt vackra namn. Tryggheten är din stolta moder. Kunskapen din broder, freden din syster. Kraften är din fader, tiden källa. Du är min ledstjärna och vän. Du är min tro, mitt hopp, min kärlek. Du är mitt blod, mina lungor, mina ögon, mina tankar, mina händer och mitt hjärta.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. Do you want to question us? Namaste, everyone. A very warm welcome to Satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Moji Ji ki Jai. Welcome, welcome. If you are in the hangout and you sense the urge to say something, then you find some space for that expression, just unmute your mic and start speaking. And on YouTube chat as well. You can post your questions over there and we can look at them. Namaste. If I was only to say one word today, if only I was to say one word today, then that word would be open.
Could you be more open about that?
Yes. She says, could you be more open about that? When we are open, it means that we are not resisting. Open to everything. Everything is allowed to come and go. We are just open. You see? So I said before that you can either be open or you can be a person. The person is only a resistance to what is. So all the conceptual knowledge, all the ideas we have about ourselves, they seem to be only this resistance, the blocking of what is. And this is not something that you need to work on. Just right now, be open. Everything, let it go. Body, let it free. Outside world, set it free. Breaths, set it free. Thoughts also, set them free. Attention also, set it free. Emotions, everything, set it free. Just be open.
It's not setting my attention free.
Yes, this is very important point. Because it feels like, because when we hear that, thoughts are the problem, thoughts create identity, we feel that our attention should not go to thoughts, or it should not go here and there. It should only be in the presence or the awareness. So when we are in this constricted state, then it can also become a part of our identity itself. I have to be, I have to keep my attention in the presence. There's still a doer I which remains. But if you let it free, where does it go? You can set it free. It can go here, there, everywhere. What happens? Can it leave the awareness? Still rooted in the awareness itself. So then we remove the contamination of the personal idea that I must now control my attention in some way. So everything is set free and complete openness is here. So in the phenomenal play, if there is something called freedom, then this is freedom. Freedom is complete openness. And you're not resisting, open to this moment completely. And I cannot truly explain this. You have to just see this for yourself. I can only point to it.
In awareness, seeing what's coming, what's going.
Yes. We are open to that. All this natural movement of awareness and attention, we are open to that. So movement of awareness means that in the phenomenal realm, it is manifesting as attention, and that is moving. Awareness remains unchanged, unmoved. And this one word, open, then we open at all the levels at which we seem to be playing, not resisting anything at any level. At the body level, at the thought level, at the idea of the person level, open to everything.
Namaste, Father.
Namaste, Father.
Namaste, my dear.
Can I speak?
Yes.
There's a bit of echo. Just I begin to feel something. If you can be with me, together with me for a while. I don't know what that is. It's just coming now. Can you hear me? It's before this energy felt. I just felt like open. I felt like there is something, somebody, not somebody, like there is somebody sitting here and listening to you. It's a feeling. There is awareness. And I see it. At the same time, like I don't know even to explain. There is this solid energy here sitting. It's not heavy. It feels like there is something here sitting, even if I cannot see what that is. But when felt that, begins the something to happen here. But now it's okay. Don't know what is.
And so this, some energetic something can be here, and we can be open to this also. And you're not resisting this, then what's happening?
Nothing. It felt like somebody, and because I saw this, I don't know what happened. In the same moment when I became aware of that, somebody sitting, that energetic feeling came. Just happened in seconds.
So when you say somebody is sitting, what does it mean? What is this somebody?
Like a solid energy. That felt. It's not about thoughts. I don't see thoughts. Nothing. Just there is. I can feel in awareness. There is something here. You know. And I don't know. Maybe something has to be dissolved completely. I don't know. It's not heavy. I don't have a problem with that. Just it has been seen in that moment. In this awareness, hearing you, seeing everybody, seeing everything. Still something like from here is everything is unfolding, something like that. And this one felt present. I don't know. Really don't know.
It sounds like you're speaking of your own presence. It sounds like you're speaking of being. This is the presence of being which we've been speaking of, isn't it?
But I never felt it like that.
Yeah.
Really feeling that in awareness there is this one.
Yes. This is the sense of being. This is the sense of being which is your own presence. But it is without attributes. That you are saying that it's not heavy. It's not an identity also. It's just the pure sense of I am. This being itself.
Yes, and felt just because of that recognition, this energy feeling, but also without any content, just an even pleasant energy feeling. It was not unpleasant, just what's happening here in my heart, like that, something, And it was just because of the recognition. That feeling came, and the moment I started speaking, maybe 20 seconds, it has dissolved. It's actually very present feeling.
So this presence of being can be there, and unassociated being, then you will have these moments where some of these beautiful energies will come. This sense of being is the background in which all phenomena function. All what is happening appears in the light of your own being. So when we are open like this, just not resisting, allowing everything to come and to go. In this simple openness, there is no sense of me. Even if there is a sense that feels like me, you see that I am the witness even of that. Therefore, I must be this witnessing and not the energy in front. Leave everything completely free to be exactly as it is.
It's actually only the very pleasant feeling of I am. Only that. Just the pure awareness of my being. Thank you.
It's very beautiful when something which has always been there and suddenly it seems so tangible now. It's always been there because we see that I've always been present. And we hear this sense I am, the sense of being, beingness. But there comes a time like this where it becomes so tangible a presence. And you wonder, but this has always been here. But how do I feel it so strongly just now? You see? It's very beautiful. And any time it can happen. All of you know this story, isn't it? Where for many years I heard Maharaj sharing about this sense I am, and I just wouldn't understand. What is he talking about? What is this presence? I don't get it. Being, I amness, made no sense. So I looked and looked, where is this being? He said, stay with the I am, stay with the I am. Then the truth will reveal itself. And it was very frustrating. To stay with the I am, I can't find an I am, so the truth will not reveal itself. Yes, it can become like that in the reverse when we listen to it wrong. And then one day I was in the auto rickshaw. Some of you who've been to India know this auto rickshaw. So I was sitting inside this just on a short, from the beginning of the road to the end, till Diamond District. And just midway, after crossing the hospital and everything, just midway, so clear. Oh, this is here. Huh?
What made it happen?
Nothing. It was just there, you see. It just became clear. This sense, I am. This is the presence, being. So here now, instead of saying go find the being, stay with the being, I realized the trouble was because the looking was getting in the way. The search itself was getting in the way. You see? So we don't say find the being. We say, can you stop being? Can you stop being? So when you invert the question in this way, then automatically you see that being is here. You cannot stop this presence which is here. Even if it doesn't feel like anything, that's okay. Just the presence is here. And then what Maharaj meant was actually simpler than it sounds. Because they would use words like, this then becomes the gateway to the truth, or something like that. You see, this becomes then. But actually, it's very simple. Who is aware even of this presence of being? It must be this I which remains. through all of this, presence, absence, phenomena, non-phenomena, waking, sleep, this awareness.
And you mentioned Maharaj, and actually exactly last night I even posted one video with many quotes about staying in I am, with I am, and the absolute will reveal itself, and with campaigned in the background with that mantra Soham, and it was very quiet, and exactly what you are speaking now. I was not frustrated because I'm not trying anymore to do anything, but it was still this feeling, okay, I will stay with this I am, even if I don't get totally what is that, because I cannot get with my mind. But I said I will stay whatever, I will be open to that. And I went to sleep. And then this, it's actually, as you say, more simple than when we read his words. In reading, I tried sometimes to be I am, to try to be, but you cannot, you have just to understand, to realize that you are.
Very good, my dear, very beautiful. Just to see that you are. It is also the same as saying that to see that I am not. What it means? It means that I see that what I always believed myself to be, I am not. Only presence is here. And I am that which is not even the presence. Ultimately, even presence comes from me. I am aware of presence. And when you start tasting like this, then all these ideas of what does he think about me, what does she think about me, where am I in my spiritual journey, what's happening, am I free or not, all of this means nothing. Means nothing. And then this is openness. Because we're not resisting anything, because there is no fear about anything at all. Because whatever we might do, this being is here. This presence is here. And when you sense this presence, every other phenomenal experience pales in comparison. It means nothing. Yet, this is not even an experience. It is just you being. How to say? It is just you being. You see? It's not even an experience. Yet the taste of you being to yourself is beyond all other phenomenal experiences. Towards which there is complete openness. So we are not saying there will be an aversion to anything phenomenal. So there is complete openness to all that is coming. But now you are not chasing anything. Earlier we were chasing every 10 rupees, suppose. We're chasing. I can make 10 rupees here, I can make 10 rupees there. Then you discover that already in your cupboard you have a billion rupees. You already in your cupboard you have a billion rupees. Then you have that same figurationist chasing external phenomenal. You don't have. Yet even if you're going after those, It doesn't change what you already have. And then we come to this point of neutrality.
But there is any desire to
Yes.
know that the openness, still it is there.
Yes. In the openness, there's a desire for
No.
to discover the self.
Yes.
This is okay. This is okay. We say many times that all other desires are perpetuating your personal idea. So all, if you look at it, you say, I want something, I want a nice house. Then you become a person with a nice house. You want a nice car. Then you become a person with a nice car. All adding to the identity. Here you say, I have desire for freedom, or I want to discover the self. This one will take this person itself out. You see, this is the only one. Then you cannot say even what you got, what you didn't get, whether you are free or not. You see, because the identity of the person itself is pulled out. Therefore, if there is such a thing as an auspicious desire, if there is such a thing, then this must be it. Then this must be it. But sometimes what happens is that this desire itself becomes so much a part of our identity that we say that, okay, but my search cannot be over because I don't know what I will do if my search is over. You see? Then this itself becomes, it becomes the identity. The seeker identity becomes then very sticky. So as you remain in satsang, you will find that the stickiness from this also is going. And sometimes it leaves with a tantrum. Yeah? It doesn't leave very nicely sometimes. Sometimes it can leave with a big tantrum, saying, I have been here, you said in satsang this will happen, this will dissolve, but I am saying nothing, I'm not understanding, I am aware, I am being, what is happening? I think it's time for me to go. And that could be right. It is time for that one to go. Yeah, but not you. It's okay. I'm always open to those kind of tantrums because I know that it is the identity itself which is now getting frustrated. It's the seeker identity. It's saying, I'm not finding anything. What have you given me actually? I say nothing. I know that. And even this gets, even the seeker means nothing. Because what are we trying to find? We're trying to find that which you already are. We're trying to find something which is outside. Because everything which is outside is coming and going. So even if you find something outside, you cannot hold on to it. Not eternally. Only your own self. Arjun? Sorry, just give me a minute. I need to sign some documents. Okay, let's look at some questions. Emika is new here. She says, why do they call Ananta father? I don't know, to be honest. Most likely it is because I always refer to my master Mujiji as father. Maybe that's why it started. Also, what happened is that the initial few that came to Satsang here were very, very young, mostly. The 20s, very early 20s. Closer to my son's age than to mine. So maybe that's why. Stacy says, Father Pranayam, can you speak about control in regards to fear of being controlled? Blessings to you. Oh, do you mean pranam? Maybe. This pranayam is actually the yogic practice of controlling breaths. So when I read control and pranayam, I felt it was going to be about breath control. But you're saying pranam. Can you speak about control in regards to fear of being controlled? Yes. Being open is the inward attitude, open to whatever is appearing, acceptance of whatever is appearing. See, from a space of neutrality. It is neither the desire for action nor an aversion to action, so it's not inaction. So it is the neutrality from which all actions naturally can arise. And then you will find that all that is meant to happen in this phenomenal play is happening just like the beating of your heart. You see? So the beating of the heart is happening. If you were from some other planet where it did not operate, this mechanism did not operate, the aliens might come and feel that you are beating your heart, you see. So they might say, how are you beating your heart? They might come and ask, so how do you do it? So this movement is happening, it's happening in you, so you must be doing it. Can you tell me how? What will you say? You say, I'm not. Something is happening on its own. It's moving on its own. In the same way, the actions in the phenomenal realm are all happening on their own. It is only a presumed idea that I am doing it. And this presumed I does not exist in the first place. So, when we become open like this, you discover that which cannot be touched, it cannot be controlled. Then this fear, all the fears and resistances about being controlled also. That which has no defenses cannot be attacked. That which has no defenses actually cannot be attacked. Just like space, you cannot cut with a sword. So then you will find that there is nothing here which can be controlled. The presence of God is here. And who can control that? As the identity of an individual fades like this, all these fears of being attacked and attacking also will then dissolve. So the fear of being controlled and then trying to control the world both dissolve. That's why often I say that we want freedom, but are we willing to give freedom? Many will come, especially the younger ones will come and say, I want my freedom, but my parents don't give me. My parents don't understand. But are we giving our freedom to our parents for them to be exactly as they are? If you give complete freedom to the world, you will find that you are free. Give complete freedom to life, and you will find that you are free. And freedom means just to be open. Otherwise, all our relationships just become like this. Do we truly meet? Do we truly meet? Are we just meeting some projection of ourselves? We're just meeting some idea. See someone, something not right. When you meet someone and say, oh, so. It is still just mind, just on the mind. This should be, this should be. Just the what is much more beautiful than anything your mind can conjure up. All our doubts about ourselves then get projected outwards. Get projected outwards. Why like this? Why is my partner like this? Why are my parents like this? Why is my teacher like this? So all of this can then be projected outward. Because we are meeting ideas and we want to meet some other ideas. We're not truly meeting in the heart as one. There was a point in my life where I realized that I never had truly met anyone. Only meeting my idea of them. I had only met ideas.
Can you explain a little bit more about meeting them?
Yeah.
Without evidence.
Yeah, just very simply. So you come in, and then you come and you sit here, and I say, okay, this one. And I'm listening to my thoughts about you. Oh, she's looking very skeptical. Is she really open? Something. Then I'm meeting these ideas of you instead of truly meeting you as you are in the moment.
Without ideas. Meeting without ideas.
Without believing the interpretation of the meeting.
That is meeting.
Yes, that's what I mean in this example. Yes. In this example, this is what I meant. That again, whatever is appearing for us, we are buying the interpretation about it. That's why I used to say, which is more better sounding, which was that when you see a flower, you really see it. You're again meeting just your mind's idea about it. Anything, you see this rock. Really just see the rock. Very quickly the mind will start saying maybe it's from here, maybe something. So although it seemed very simple, what I'm saying seemed very simple for a change, maybe. But actually it's the root of the trouble. We're constantly listening to this interpretive mind about everything which is appearing. Why is this like this? Why is this like that? All this resistance, all the desire, all of this comes from this interpretive voice. When we become open, we're not clinging on to anything that this one is saying. Everything is just love. Then who can show me bondage? Even otherwise you cannot. But just when you're open like this, even the concept of bondage cannot be true. Stina says, I feel so afraid to visit my parents tomorrow. I'm afraid of their questions about my life, what I'm thinking to do, how to gain money, etc. I have no idea about this, and I need some money for living. My parents will support me in some way, but I feel they have some expectation towards me in return. I don't want to fulfill expectations. Can you maybe give me some support in this? It feels so suffocating. We already shared the answer, you see, but you might not like this one so much. Can you let them be exactly as they are? This doesn't mean you have to conform to anything. Doesn't mean you have to live up to any expectation. Doesn't mean you have to do anything at all. But can you just let them be, give them the freedom to be exactly as they are? Give them the freedom to speak exactly what they want to speak. And give whatever is playing from here also to respond exactly as it is coming. When you step out of this game, you will find that you were never playing it anyway. All of it was being played on its own. So you want them to drop their expectations from you. First, you drop the expectation from them that they should not have expectations from you. Can we do that? So then let them have expectations. There is nothing that you can do about it. Nothing that anybody can do. And fighting it most often becomes more counterproductive. Because we keep feeling, why don't they understand? And they keep feeling the same thing, why don't you understand? Best to just step out of this equation, let everything just happen on its own. So you want them to leave you free, set you free. So first you set them free. And all of us can check back at all our grievances and see who is it that I have not set free yet? Who am I burdening with my expectations? And Dana says, bowing at everyone's feet, have tears streaming down my face, adjusting to this type of community, slowly yet surely. Very good. So there's a question from Nitya. The essence of the question is that it's clear that when seeing from the perspective as awareness itself, then there is no problem. I'm paraphrasing because it's jumping, but when from the true perspective, then there is no trouble. And when it is seen from the perspective of identity, then all the suffering comes. But is there ever a time where seeing from the perspective of identity is helpful? This is a good question. He says, yes. Seeing from the perspective of identity is suffering. But is there ever a time where seeing from this identity perspective is helpful? Not really. Because there can be this presumption that I must now become the identity to sort something. But that would presume that God needs this to make this situation better. But actually, God has no trouble. Consciousness has no trouble playing any role. So we don't need to become the manager to play the role of a manager. You don't need to become the employee or pretend to become the employee to play the role of the employee. Many of us still, few of us at least, still have jobs, and you can find that they can. I'm going to say many and then looked around and said, okay. Few of us that still have jobs, the job can happen. If that is God's will, then the job can continue to happen. We don't have to pick up the identity. Actually, more often I hear that I've quit my job than I hear I got a job. So. Yet all roles, all jobs can be played by consciousness itself. But just you have to be careful about the mind coming in and saying, okay, let's see consciousness do it, let's see. Now it comes and says, let's see if it is doing a good job. Consciousness will do it. You're expecting some mega, billions of dollars in the bank in the next 2 weeks. And you find that you had the job and something just didn't happen properly. See, consciousness. So much for leaving it to God. You have to take personal responsibility. This is what it says. Many teachers of the self-help teachers would say, yes, God is there, but you must take personal responsibility. But then you who? They never say that. Yes, God is helping you, but you, the final step must be taken by you. And then if you ask them, but who? Get out. So many different temperaments are there. So in some temperaments, they will take credit for everything that they do, and everything bad that happens, God did to them. I was so good for the past 1 year, but you still messed up my life. You see, so I was good. I'm taking credit for all my good stuff, and all the bad that happened, God did. And then there are some who will be the other way. All is your doing so beautiful. Okay, but still, I'm such a sinner, so bad. I cannot improve. You see, I still have greed. I still have lust. So like this goes. So if God is doing everything, then He also must be projecting all of this. All these feelings must be coming up by who? So this is all different variations of half surrender. You see? And the most common is that even when it is understood that you are the doer, you say, why are you doing this to me? You see, so you are the doer, but I am still there as the experiencer. You're doing everything. Then why are you so mean to me only? Can it be that the doer is different from the experiencer? Can it be that? Not. You see? So all these are variations of tricks in the mind. Yes, yes, you are the doer. Why do you have to do it like this? Especially to me. So if the me is still around, then none of this fake surrender helps. You see, half surrender. This conceptual surrender. Bhagavati ji says, Father, can Nirmai come up? Yes, yes, she has to leave for work soon. Of course, my dear.
Morning.
Morning. Good morning, my dear.
I think we've got an echo.
Okay.
Okay, very good. Thank you. It's a bit of a difficult one, but I seem to have turned into this sort of really angry, grumpy monster, and it's been going on for a couple of weeks, and I'm just, I guess, not very. I just see another being here, and I just feel so angry at seeing them, and yeah, another person. I see another person here, and there's just this anger of. Just, I don't know. I don't know where it's come from, and it's so the opposite. It's not neutral, and it's not compassion. It's just this anger, and it feels like something's really, I feel like I could explode, and it's not fair on all the other people here, and it's not fair on the people I work with, and I don't know what to do with it, and I haven't got any space with it. It just like comes. So I don't know whether, and I've looked to see, who, and like I can see that it's just a fiery mess. And can I give my fiery mess to you, please? And it's your problem now. Could we do that?
Of course you can, my dear. Of course, that's what I'm here for. Yeah? You can give this mess to me, and also this one who doesn't want the mess. Also, this one you can give to me. Does that make sense? Because I'm more concerned about this one getting belief rather than even the mess. Because there will always be situations where someone is there pushing your buttons, something is happening. And then you will find that some energy is coming, anger, repulsiveness. It can be that you just want to stay away from them, don't want to see them at all. All this can come. You see? But there is something which still says that this is happening to me. And this one actually doesn't exist. It's just an idea. The one that this seems to be happening to actually doesn't exist. This is just the pretend personal identity. So along with all of this which is coming in response to another from in front of you, also give me this one that feels that this should not be here, or this is bad, I want to be free from this. This voice also, it actually doesn't belong to anyone, but some belief must have gone to this voice. So this voice also you can give to me. Let this also be my problem. So this is what Guruji means when he says surrender everything, and also including the surrenderer. And what does this mean? How do I do it? Because this question can come. So yes, yes, yes. Makes sense. But how? How do I give this one to you? So right here, right now, burn all concepts which are around this identity, all the grievances that it has picked up, all the idea, including the idea, especially the idea that this anger shouldn't be there. Because that also is a resistance to what is. Anger is not so much the trouble, you see. It is guilt around the anger or resentment that the anger turns into that becomes more troublesome. So it is guilt and resentment which is more dependent on personal identity than anger itself. If there's a feeling that please take all the anger away, I should never be angry again. This cannot happen. You see. Anger will come, even to the best of us. Even to the sages. You've been around sages, you see that anger does come. But it does not stay because it does not get attached. It does not become part of a story. It doesn't become part of the identity of being the angry one. So in this way, all of this which is coming, then just momentary it comes, but it has no ground to stand on. Just in the moment something can come. You see? And then we are not even constricting ourselves, trying to be nice or something like that, because that is also troublesome. When we try to be nice, oh, today I'm going to be very nice. And yet when somebody comes in front of us again, you see? So it is this trying to be nice which can cause more trouble actually. Don't try to be anything. Not nice, not angry, not right, not wrong. Then moment to moment, whatever is coming is okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I better go to work.
I have to go to work.
Yes. Thank you, my love. Thank you so much. You can speak more on this next time also if you like. When you're here, you can speak. Lucia says, I love it when you look in the camera, Father. So let's look for some time. That's an idea. Thank you, Bhagwati ji. Thank you so much. Yes. Yes. Over it. Yes. Actually, also I just remembered because she's speaking so softly. Jesh got the mic the other day. It's on that side. Maybe tomorrow. Remind me before we start.
When I was looking at it, I see there are thoughts that come along with ouch, or why did you do this to me? So that's a thought, and that's not really this me.
Yeah.
And down, but this ouch. There's no time.
Is felt by who? So let's presume this is about me. So a whack came from me or something, and she felt that ouch. Suppose, I'm just saying, suppose. So something came from here, and feeling of ouch comes. But this ouch is for who? That's what the voice says, but can you find this meaning? We cannot find the meaning. Then we're just willing to trust this voice forever about this meaning? Because this voice is that same voice, which is saying that you are a cat. As long as we keep trusting it, we keep believing that I am a cat. We cannot find anything. We cannot find one whisker of this cat. So even when the feeling comes of hurt, without believing the interpreter's voice, you cannot really identify as a me.
Feel more close and become
Yeah. Yeah. Different energetic play differently. Okay, it's just what is projected in time and space can seem to have this distance. Just because something seems close doesn't mean it's me. Close still means it's not me. There is no me. Even the sense of me, the sense of this individual identity, even this one doesn't have even an energetic presence. The sense of being is the primal energetic presence phenomena, but the sense of identity doesn't even have an energetic presence. All energetic presence can come and go, but still we cannot invent this me. It's just a belief. The person is just a belief, it is nothing else. Yeah.
When we get such things, just watch it in awareness without any mind.
See, the expectation that it should vanish is the resistance which makes it persistent. If it is not happening to anyone, why should it vanish or not vanish? That is more important to see. Otherwise, still the person which is trying to use this as a trick to make life move in a certain way. Now I want to be free from all pain or whatever, so now I'm just going to look at it as awareness. And when I look at it as awareness, My life will be good, you see. So it's still this voice of the person which wants to make a strategy around this. And God is not so unkind as to make our personal strategies work. You see? They might give this illusion of working for some period of time, but then the many who are doing the inquiry for personal benefit, that no real feeling to discover who you are, but they feel they found some tool. So anytime life becomes bad, they just sit and say. Yeah. And initially it can seem like this band-aid is making the pain better. But then even they come to Satsang and say, even inquiry doesn't work for me. I say, yes, obviously it's not worked because the me is still here. You see, it's saying it didn't work for me. Then you have to rephrase the question or say something else. Because then something is already jaded with the old form of doing the inquiry. This is what I meant when I said that the seeker itself, what does the seeker want? It wants to become the one who found the truth. It wants its journey to end as the enlightened one. Okay? But there is no enlightened one. There is no free person. Okay? So all these tricks and tactics are just the way it is using to try and come to this point of becoming the free person. It's the person which cannot be possible. There is no such thing.
So, you say that the seeker holds. In other words,
Yes.
so there was this experience last week, and I can see it was like a really sublime experience. And the sister was like, there's nobody except God.
Yes.
Like it just came out of nowhere and it went out of nowhere. And during the experience, I could see the mind like, oh my God, is he going to go away? You know? The presence was so powerful. Like he's everywhere.
Yes.
He's the only one.
Yes.
But now I can see the experience was like there's nobody. But I can see the mind like wanting to feel special that I saw this.
Yeah.
It's just contrary to each other. But I just wanted to bring this out because I can see this energy come up. I can't like it's like it's hard. It feels like it has not even happened. Like that it's like I actually wanted to go check my Facebook to see if I really messaged you about it. Because it didn't happen.
Yeah.
It's like it was the most sublime experience.
Now there is evidence. The documented evidence that it happened.
I didn't check it, but it really felt like something wants to bring back the memory of it, but it's too much energy to bring it back. Like it's just feel like something wants to feel special that
It's good that you can watch it and just see it like that. Because for many who haven't heard like this in Satsang over and over, that spiritual experience is also the experience of this sort of oneness, to be able to sense God so tangibly. Even this, the mind can try and use to make something arrogant or something special out. So instantly you are vigilant to that. Many who have not been in Satsang, they will feel that, okay, I found that God is everything. Okay? And very quickly that I comes up and say, I found it. Okay? That I found it.
it's just too much to take that energy. It's like just
So now in this way we can enjoy the prasad that comes along the way, beautiful, lovely taste when it happens, but we don't have the expectation that we should be eating prasad all the time.
I can see that also. Like something wants to
Once.
see that, just feel that again. Like the wall is also gone. Like the computer, everything is just.
But even this experience of God, being everything, everywhere, and accompanied by so much love, peace, joy, even this is not greater than you. Even this is appearing to you. You are that no thing to which all things appear. And say this all things itself is gone. But which is the greater? That to which it appears or that which is appearing? The greater must be that to which it is appearing and then disappearing. You still are. Whether it is appearing or disappearing, it's come or it's gone, you still remain. This I that remains is awareness that you are.
I can't really in that experience, I don't know, I can't really narrate where I was or what.
Yeah.
There was not me.
Yeah.
There was
Yes, but
only that.
there is. So in that experience, we can say that the me was not there, but you were there.
Yes, I can narrate it, so I was there, but as what?
There's nothing. That's why I said it is the no thing to which all appearances come. Even now, this is the truth.
But it was all one, no?
Yes, so the way it is sensed, that can change. But the one that is aware of this right now and that then is still the same one. This unchanging awareness. This is good to see because you see that I have this awareness which actually remained untouched through the most sublime experience and through day-to-day life and through the terrible experiences also. Then we see that there is nothing to fear, nothing to desire, nothing to run from also. Some of you have heard the story also, that we went to the Vashisht cave last year, the year before, the first time, near Rishikesh. And we went inside the cave and we sat down over there. And it just felt like some supreme siddhis came here. Just felt. So it felt I could travel to any part of the universe. The entire universe was in front of me. Everything was just moving. I could see from, as the creator of the universe itself, everything was happening. Such the entire time and space was like movement in front of me, a small ball in front of me. And yet, very quickly, this also came. So what? This is so what? How does it matter? It's still a dance in front of me. I remain untouched through this. And there's so much that is happening even right now. This room. So many processes that are in place, so many millions, trillions of atoms and molecules which are interacting with each other, heat is being exchanged, electricity is flowing, all of this is happening. So is this not God already here? This also is. But the mind will try to make something out of some specific experiences. You use these opportunities to find the one who is aware of this experience. Is that changed because of the experience? Because there is also this feeling which can come that once I have some experience like this, then something must have transformed. I must be changed. All that changes actually is you cannot believe this idea of more and more. As more and more of these experiences come, more and more you dip into the inquiry, more you're checking as awareness itself. Because all that is happening is that belief in the personal identity is dissolving.
The sense of awareness is just
Yes.
very
Alien. It's like an alien concept.
being done. When the thoughts, if they come, they delete. Drop, they drop.
Very good.
No. And since there's an openness, so a lot of emotions that would have been that negative or feelings or even energies are coming, and before I would there would be a resistance to them. So, I mean, it's not like outwardly it might be like an irritable face or it's just
So we are not just open to what is coming seemingly outwardly, we are also open to the response which is coming from here, without judgment, isn't it? So then we're truly just watching all this movement which is happening. Dennis wants to speak. Dennis, you can come.
Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste, my dear.
I just want to leave you a big thank you. I don't really have so much to say. There's just thank you. And I feel that thank you it's even so gross. It's not enough. The only thing that I can offer you is my peace, my happiness. And I'm feeling so much space since I began watching the satsangs. And I've been a bit nervous to come up lately, but it happened today. Something made it. So I'm feeling this space, like I asked so many questions on YouTube till now. The seeker is being dissolved. It has been melting, disappearing. But I have this feeling of not claiming, declaring these things of the seeker is away. It's too soon, and it always will be too soon to say that. I hope never say that. I have this feeling these days of just staying in this space, this presence, making peace with this not knowing, and personhood comes, mind, attacks, shame, all these things comes, but there's this thing on the background, this presence, your presence, and it's much higher. It's more than all this personal stuff. So I want you said these days about to everyone to state their reports, to expose. So I was a bit tired and I was a bit hiding too. So it came now. I hope you are feeling well. What I just wanted to say that there's a fear here of this claiming coming, because we feel so much space, happiness, awakening. There's a fear of this seeker, this spiritual ego attacking sometimes. That is something that I wanted to expose to us. I don't know anything else to say. It's a thank you. I felt to make this excuse of talking to make this deeper connection. I felt to connect with you, to hear my voice, to look at me. I'm very grateful. Just that. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. Very, very beautiful. Just one point which you mentioned, which I wanted to clarify a little bit for you, which is that this sense that I don't want to proclaim something. This can come, but we don't have to hide from anything at all. So there's no need to proclaim anything, and there is no need to hide from this proclamation also. You see, this is what I mean by neutrality. We don't have to proclaim, and we don't have to be humble. Just whatever is flowing is flowing. Okay? So, and those who are true in their heart, they can actually smell where it is coming from. So the same proclamation, I am completely free, can just come from the spirit, purely from the sense of personhood claiming to be free, or it can just be a very innocent statement where you can say, I find no bondage. So the words can remain the same, that I am completely free, but their presence will be different. So you don't have to worry so much about the content of the words. It's okay. If naturally it's coming that you feel to say, yes, yes, I am completely free, it's fine. So don't feel it is. If somebody has a problem with that, then that is their satsang also. That is their satsang also. So like this, we stay completely natural, trusting whatever is arising from here. And no words are true anyway. You see? No words are true anyway. So no worry about any of this. Just flow as you are doing so beautifully, marinating in this love, in this devotion. I'm very, very happy to hear your report and look forward to hearing more soon.
Can I say something else?
My dear.
No, I just want to stress on that thing of I've been doing inquiry, watching the satsangs, and one day you told me about the problem is the practitioner. It's okay with meditation, and I felt that so much, and it helped me so much because I prayed to get rid of this thing of practitioner, seeker, and I feeling this thing of dropping the I will become enlightened. I can't find this anymore here. Maybe it comes, I don't know, when we say these things it comes again, but now I don't feel this. Someday some awakening will happen. I'm just staying here. When it goes and it comes again. And I'm very happy and grateful. I'm feeling so much love to you. And not anything that I can do will be enough. Thank you to you. It's just can offer this happiness. So I wanted to say that I have this feeling of it's disappearing. This someday something will happen. You said about expecting some fireworks someday. I'm feeling that's not about sensations. It's just it's almost invisible. Not sensations, but it's very very subtle to report. It's not. It's words are useless. That's it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, my dear. Very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. I love you too, my dear. Thank you. Yes? Yes? Yes?
fate, I was wrong.
It's truly not worth it. I know. It can play like this, no? And it's good to expose that, because when you hear the words coming out of this mouth, you say, oh, it even feels more ludicrous than it does inside when it's out like this.
Yesterday, I don't know, I feel it now. This is strong feeling. It's something that just wants to be allowed. Just fully.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. And even, I don't know what it is. It's almost like I have to look at something.
Yeah.
Like I was in denial. I'm very strong. Denying something. I don't know what it is. I feel it now. I want to just be here and talk about people.
Yeah, yeah. Very good. In this openness itself, the true embrace will happen. Being embracing itself. It's openness, because it is only the false which has been reinforced through our resistance, through our belief in thoughts. And as this is dropped with this, just this gentle, innocent, sweet openness, then
It's like I want to hug some, like,
yeah.
you just saying yes.
We made a hugger out of you. When you come to Satsang initially, so the Satsang is very meek hugs. Not with you necessarily, I'm saying. Generally, sometimes it can give it a few weeks. Yes, yes, of course.
Like, the thing that, like, you know, you asked me about things,
Hmm.
and I noticed that the thing just to, like, brush it aside. I don't want to answer.
Yeah.
There's always a thing that I'm on, like, such a, like, I
Yes,
pretend,
yeah.
I pretend it's not here,
Yeah.
or,
You want to face the.
yeah, I don't know if that's what this is.
Could be like that. Because, like in India, also, it's very prevalent that we shouldn't talk about death. We feel just by talking about death, then death will come and take somebody away just because you've been talking. And if God was that. If God worked that way, then I don't know. There would be no hope for anything at all. So this feeling to hide, then, but you will come to a point where you will be able to talk about it very easily. Yes, yes, my joints, they've always been like that. They don't stay at one place, they just keep moving around. In the morning I could wake up and could find that my elbow is up to my shoulder. Yes. So it can feel many things. It can feel like, oh, just by focusing on it, it's becoming worse. Or it can feel like, oh, this is so uncompassionate to talk about something like this, which is so serious. How can you make jokes about it? Same thing. But then you will find that as the sense of attachment, the sense of identity to the body is thinning more and more, you become very natural. And sometimes I have to provoke these things. Yeah.
The last 2 lines, just think back to sleep, awake up, my mouth is open, and screaming with no
Yeah.
sound.
Yeah.
There's no negative, I'm no reason.
You can scream also. Even in Satsang, you can scream if you like. Okay, there are many things which are happening in the chat. I'm not sure which. No, not the trolls. I'm just trying to figure out if there's a request for someone asking a question, or was there a question I missed? I know that Samira had asked something, maybe. Samira, Chetan is here. Welcome, my dear. Welcome. Did you have a question? Does your mic work?
I don't know. I haven't. Is it working?
Yes, it's working. It's working. Very good. Very good.
Well, hello, everybody.
Hello. Welcome to this Satsang.
Thank you very much. I feel very privileged. I don't have anything to ask.
Okay, my dear, because there was some question, isn't it? You had a clarification about if it's touched
Yes,
or
there
untouched.
was something. I think I said something about untouched. You said something, and I heard it is untouched. Do you remember?
Yes. I don't remember specifically, but usually what I do say is that you, which is this impersonal awareness, which is non-phenomenal actually, you remain untouched through the entire play of appearances. No matter what appearance is, you actually are not touched by it. And once you see this, that I am not even touched, forget even about invincibility or hurt or anything like that. Not even touched. I am like the space which remains through all of this movement. Then we will not have a need to attack or to defend or to feel like something can happen to us. So this is the discovery which is being pointed to here very directly, that you are this which remains through all this creation and destruction of the entire universe will happen, but you remain as that which is untouched through all of this.
I think you must be feeling that, or some awareness of that, as you speak it.
Yes, many times we don't have an experience to correlate with what is being said in Satsang. Many times it feels like we don't have an experience to correlate it with, but it rings true somewhere. You see, it rings true somewhere, which itself is very beautiful.
Anyway, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Very happy you could join us. Very good.
Very kind.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm
Annette says, I have a question for clarification on being open. Yes, this is good. Can you please speak to the point of discernment and boundaries? For example, with the trolls, we are not necessarily open to the games or untruth. Yes. So good you asked this question, so I can clarify again. We are not speaking about the external action or inaction which is happening. It is more internally that we are open to all that arises in this moment. So, and that is why I also said it is important to be open not just to what's seemingly happening from the outside, but also seemingly happening as a response from here. So when Nirmai was asking earlier, you were saying that anger is coming. We said that anger itself is not the problem, you see. It is the guilt or the resentment after the anger which is more troublesome. So that which relies on identity, that is the bigger trouble than that which is just appearing momentarily. In this way, all the phenomenal roles can be played, the moderators can moderate. You see, so we're not saying that they should be open in that way that everybody is welcome to disrupt whatever they want, but they're open to whatever is happening moment to moment, and even the responses are happening in this sense of openness. You see, this is a little subtle. I know it can get a little confusing. So what I'm talking about is a sense of neutrality. And from this neutrality, all the actions, whether left or right, are allowed. But we are not picking up the sense of identity about it. We're not picking up the sense of doership about it. So the moderating can happen, but we must not believe in the moderator identity so much. You see? Just in the same way actions are happening, but we must not believe in the doer identity so much at all. Actually. Makes sense?
Yeah, it makes.
Yes.
It's just, I guess it corresponds in some way to the openness, but I'm just watching like some of the thoughts that have been going on, and we went to Cavern Park yesterday.
Yes.
It had just the most sublime.
Yes, I saw some photos.
Yeah, it was so beautiful.
It's very funny. She keeps talking about nature and greenery, but it never comes from here to suggest that there are parks, you know. And then when I saw the photos, but she was speaking about missing nature, and I could have suggested maybe 2 months ago that she could
I
go
know,
to.
and I don't know, it didn't happen. It like just didn't. I don't know why. It's so funny. And I went there, and I was just like, felt like I was in heaven. Like something inside is just like I just there for hours. So happy, just so grateful, and so like all of that was just beautiful, so beautiful, and then I came back, and so like just allowing and being open to everything coming up, and thoughts of like, oh, why can't I live like right next to the park?
Yeah.
You know, back in the city again, and like annoyances, like something, you know, just all of that is playing, and so I just wanted to bring that up, but also it just feels it's okay too, right? Just letting even the annoyances of living like in a city, and as long as I'm just not identified with that.
You must, otherwise it gets repressed somewhere. If you try to push something down, then it exhibits itself in different ways.
Yeah, because it feels like there's, I don't want to a preference or something that just loves being like away from the city, and so there's just like around that, but that's allowed to be there. Because I can feel like that's been coming, maybe trying to get. It's nothing. It's trying to get
yes,
like
it'll try.
Yeah.
But when we are truly open, and all of this is allowed to come into play. There's a resistance which is only ever a problem. And what's the Best test of this, whether I am open or not, it is whether I am suffering. You cannot suffer and be open at the same time. You can, I mean, we can be smart and use fancy language and say, but I'm open to my suffering also, something very Advaita like that. But, you see? But then we must be then talking about pain. Suffering is this sense of identity, which is, but when you're open, there is no identity. So pain can be there, but if some suffering, some personal suffering is there, then you can see that what am I still closed about? Is there something that I'm still closed about? In this way, then it becomes a beautiful game. It becomes a beautiful game where every moment is so natural, and some pinch comes. Okay, what did I become closed about? Just open. Just a different way of what we've been saying all the time, which is that what belief did I pick up? Something more is remained there?
Just no, actually.
So who suggested the park finally?
Actually, Amba and I were gonna go, and then we're gonna go Saturday. Ended up like waking up really early Sunday morning to go, and I don't know why it just never came. I know he didn't be that way, but it just never occurred to me. No, it doesn't make sense.
There are a few parks actually. There's also a big park. It's not the same. No? There's one Lal Bagh which is bigger.
They're so beautiful.
I went there once, maybe 10 years ago. And I moved to Bangalore. When you move, then you ask for these things. No? What is there to? So somebody said, "There's this park." So you go there.
It's like pitch a tent and live there.
I'm a complete city boy.
No.
Concrete is very comfortable.
Loved it so much.
Wait, is there a spot for satsang?
Yeah, lots.
Okay, cool.
So huge. I mean, I just like walked for hours and didn't like. Lots of empty spaces.
Yes.
Like, with so much and so like,
She's so happy she's going to cry. Okay. It's good. One child who cries after coming from the park. Because you're out of the park, yeah, that I know. Someone is asking, no, why they call me father? They're still children. We shall have satsang in the park. You choose the park. There are also parks which are okay now I'm telling. There are also parks in the area. Inverting has some nice ones. Small, but not as obviously not as big as the park. Yes.
The basic survival, animals don't have this mind problem.
Yes, exactly.
But if
Well,
they are
I don't know, but let's presume this is true. Okay.
yeah, maybe not. But
Because just before we answer the question, there was this feeling here, and maybe Parvati or somebody who knows more about. If Anand is here, he can tell us. There was this feeling here that animals never just attack each other. It was always this feeling that only when they're threatened, or only if they feel some, some hunger, then they go and attack. But then I looked it up, being this curious thing, and they actually can attack each other. I saw like that just for fun. Some ego. See, then the mind is there. Anyway, so your question. Let's presume for this question.
if they're really open,
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of openness opposite of basic survival?
Not really. So that's what I'm saying. That I feel that when I say open, it's immediately getting confused with a outward action. See?
There won't be any action coming, but they're so.
That is what I'm not saying. So, you see, like right now, action is happening through you. See? But it does not take. It was not a strategy that I will move my hand this way and I will say exactly these words or something like that. So action can continue. So it's more of a openness to whatever is appearing moment to moment. Which doesn't mean the mind immediately paints a picture, but this is like a vegetative state. You're just sitting. It's not like that. The most effortful outward action can happen, but inwardly it does not seem effortful. It's a little bit subtle like this. So when we're being open, we're not latching on to any concept, any belief. Everything is just allowed to come and go. And yet outwardly, all these actions can happen.
Without intention.
Of course.
Intention
Of
also
course.
the I. Without intention.
Yes. The intention followed by action is also a fallacy. Action is just action, intention is just intention, thought is just thought.
So many concepts you're giving, I mean, it's like, wow. And it's really true, but it's just like so huge.
It seems initially very radical, but actually you will come to the point where you say that this is so simple. And yet from the worldly perspective, it is still very radical. You cannot just regularly walk on the street and say, you're not a person. There's nobody inside. That's why I said, remember last time when you asked, I said it takes some strong suffering usually to make you open like this, to exploring the possibility that you might not exist.
I got a small sample of experience.
Yeah.
I never did remote healing or energy healing.
Yeah.
I did healing that I could be trusted and believe the other person to be divine, completely divine. It would work right. But this one, if at all, I would call somebody my mom past. So I was walking in my neighborhood, and there was this lady I was talking to. She was holding the dog.
Yeah.
She was really aggressive, and she was really banging it on. She was constantly attacking, constantly. So I just offered, saying, I'll do something. And then first is to said, I don't believe in my next thought.
Yeah.
So to clear out all the self, and I did the work. And she wrote to me saying, tremendous improvement. So action can happen.
Yes, exactly.
It's
Yes.
still like
And action can happen, and the outcome might have been terrible also, but that is also fine. Yeah? So sometimes it can become another mind trick for us to say, because I'm just flowing, therefore everything should become very beautiful.
Yeah, it's still there.
Very nice. So then that becomes another trick from the mind. The one that cares about the outcome is also not you. Is also the same imagined one.
It's not able to do that.
See? Because what can happen, the danger of it like this, although it's very beautiful, when it flows like this beautifully, is that you might come across another instant where healing happened and yet the outcome was not like that. Then you might start to again doubt and say, see how it did work, I must have believed the thought, something. Because we've seen through all these tricks over the last so many years, we've seen through all the various variations of the mind tricks. That's why now I've got this preemptive approach to warn you that this like this can happen, this like this.
It's so much of conditioning for so long.
And also, if my primary job is to, anytime you feel like you know how to do something, my job is to tell you no. This you is still not you. Because we are so conditioned to picking up better ways of doing something. Okay, now I'm graduating from one way to the next way. Now I'm graduating from one way to the next way. So that has been our life, isn't it? So now I found a better way. But this now I want to explode the way. You have nowhere left to go. Then you see that everything is just moving by itself in front of me. And there's nobody here which is doing, planning, figuring it out. Because all of these can also then become part of the identification itself. Yeah.
I've got a basic
Yeah.
like I have to prepare food.
Yeah.
What is there in the house and what needs to be also.
Yes. So that's why I said you must experiment with this. Because we can have that same conversation, but you must take one weekend or something and experiment with it and say, okay, I will not believe a thought. So let me see if I'm not able to prepare food. Then you can come to me and say, I did the experiment and actually no food, everybody went hungry. So tell me if it happens like that. You might come to a beautiful discovery actually, which is that it just prepared itself. The body also moved itself. Yet we are open to either outcome. You could come and say we had to order Domino's because you said don't believe your thought. So once you see for yourself, then this question will dissolve. Just by my giving the answer, because it has been such strong conditioning. So although I have credibility with you, it will not still be enough for me to say, no, it's all happening on its own. You have to see it for yourself. Oh, look at this. Looks like everyone in the hangout changed. Very good. Welcome, 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 my dear.
We're talking about the animal.
Oh, yes.
I wanted to tell you that I was in the bush about 2 weeks ago. And I saw two things that were very interesting. The first thing that I saw was right in front of us, 3 cheetahs killed a buck called a hartebeest, you know. And it was quite a violent thing to see. And Mia was sitting next to me, and I kept on looking at her, like, to see if it was traumatizing her. And it wasn't at all. And then I realized that it was just the most peaceful thing, actually. And it was like so right, you know, of how things had to happen, that these 3 cheetahs were hungry and this hartebeest gave his life instead of the other ones that were just standing over there. And, you know, it was, and they were eating and there was blood everywhere, and it was a hell of a thing to see. But it was so quiet. It was dead silent, you know. It had this beautiful silence inside this violence, you know. And it really struck me that it was just the way of things, the way of life, you know. And our minds can sometimes judge things, and it was just perfect. And the other thing that I noticed was there was hippos, and there was like these 5 hippos, and they were fighting for space. They were in a piece of water, and there's only so much space. And if the one came on the other one's space, he would bite him, you know? He would like turn to him and bite him and say, like, get out, you're in my space. And I was like, you know, and then the other one would just go, and he wouldn't take it personally. He would just be like, oh, okay, I was in his space, and he just moves. And it was just it was all just flowing naturally. And I realized that even in the fighting for space and in the jostling, there wasn't even any ego with them, you know. It was just, oh, I'm in his space, I better move. He's the bigger guy, he's going to bite me, you know. So I wanted to tell you about the animals. I noticed those 2 things. But I also wanted to tell you something afterwards, because on Friday I didn't get to share. So and then the whole weekend I had to think about something, because Guru Purnima is coming up at the end of July. And you know, for many years I've been in another ashram, and the Param Guru of that ashram, I feel very strongly for his beautiful teachings, and I feel like I learned so much, you know, from that particular master. And so I went back to the ashram on Saturday, and I was like, you know, I wanted to pay respects, and I had this whole thing of like, who is my guru, and am I choosing a new guru, and blah, and you know. So I have some realizations. The first one being, like, I never chose, but anyway, I was thinking about Moody as my guru, you know, Guruji. And the whole time I said to my husband, you know what I'm so happy about, and I'm so happy that I didn't get a chance to share on Friday, because the weekend happened, and then I realized yesterday that, like, if I think of my guru, I think of you and him as one. And I have absolutely no, like, there's a Moody and there's a you, you know. And I'm so happy about that, and I'm so like proud of you, that you are such a great teacher, you know, because it means that you're completely transparent, you know, and that you do the work of your master so beautifully, you know. And I just have to say thank you so much, you know. And like, I don't even have words to describe how much I appreciate that, you know. And I love you very much, and it's just, I'm so happy that I realized that. And then the second realization is that I never had this choice, you know. I never like, even now, like, talking about it's ridiculous, because the day I turned to Satsang it was completely inevitable that I'd fall into the arms of that amazing teacher we have called Muji, you know, and that my heart would be his, and that there isn't even a choice, you know, and that I love my ashram and I appreciate all those teachings, but oh my God, are you and him my gurus? Like, totally.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. So
Thank you for everything.
Thank you for everything. So, you know, phenomenally, one visual is coming for me when you were speaking. It was like I was imagining Guruji sitting over there, and suddenly, like one of his knees, they started speaking. And I feel that I'm always at his feet, you know. So if there's some speaking happening, it must be coming from his feet only. Something is speaking from there. So this visual was coming as you were speaking. Just like this. So I know that some of this sort of talk has been happening, and you know, these things happen. I'm always amazed as to how it can be discussed like that, because for me, truly, I want to tell you, all that I do is just I come and sit and I wait for him to speak. Truly, I'm saying this. I just come and sit and wait for him to speak. So, in this way, so beautifully, I feel you expressed, because it's right like this, what you say. Just become transparent, you see. I feel that is the perfect word which you use. Just to become transparent and to let your master's voice speak through you is satsang, I feel. Very nice, very, very nice. The Guru Purnima is 30th or 31st?
It's 31st, and I'll be there.
You'll be here.
There. Portugal. And
Oh,
and there with
yes. Take me with you, take me in your heart.
I was thinking the whole, because I was like, oh, I didn't speak to you on Friday, and I say to you on Monday, I want to say something. And what on earth could I say? And I would, every time I would go into my heart, and I would feel, Muji, and I would just be nothing, you know. And it would just be this place where I can feel you both, you know. No words for that. And I'll be there. All day. I'll see you.
Hello, thank you so much.
Father, could I speak?
Yes, my dear, please come.
I don't know where to start. The question seemed very strong. That's why I wanted to come in. I can hardly remember where to start. It was something. Yesterday was a big day for me. I wanted to share that the more I feel my heart is opening, and the more I am challenged with darker energies, the more I feel that I'm, disappearing, and the more I'm challenged with difficult situations. And it's really strange because I could see the thought coming to me, and it's just for that split second when I listened to that thought, I knew in this big whirlwind, but something wanted to go in that whirlwind. Something wanted to experience the pain. I don't know if that makes sense. Something wanted to go deep into the grieving, into the anger, it's like I wanted it. And the whole time I could see that it was all going on in my head. And I felt like my world was collapsing, and fears of being on my own came up. I had a great fear of being alone, and a part of me wanted to be alone because then I'd be free, because then I don't have to listen to anybody anymore, and I can just follow my heart completely. But then my heart's also connected to my life as well, and the loved one I love very much, my loved ones. And so everything was going on in my head. So I took off for a walk, and in this walk, I just handed it all over to God. I said, I trust that whatever I'm going through, it's what I need to go through. And I just said to God, I give it all to you. And I just walked and walked for about an hour and a half. And the incredible thing was that I had so much energy. It's like my body was full of this energy that I didn't know where it was coming from. It's like I was going to explode from so much energy that was flowing through this body. I never felt this energized for a long time. And by the afternoon, I could see that it was just fading away, and it was just like a memory. It was like it never really happened. It's really bizarre. And by the evening, I was filled with love again. And I wanted to hug that person that made me feel so much pain. I just wanted to hold him so tight, and then it was just all gone. This morning, my heart's at peace again. I feel like my life is not falling apart. And I can see that everything just went on in my mind. And the more I feel that I'm clearing, the more I'm challenged with these things that keep coming up. And then I always remember our master Muji, that he always says that the ego comes through the back door. And, and boy, it sure does. But I'm in a much better place now. And it's funny because what Parvati was talking about is exactly an emotion that came up in me today, that for me it's always been Muji, like he's everything to me. And then you came along, and now Ramdas came along, and I can see that it's the one voice speaking to my heart, and it's just different expression of this truth and this love. And it's just so beautiful because I'm surrounded by truth and love that's just expressing in different forms. And I think to myself, no, I must be loyal to Muji. No, I must be loyal to Ananta. No, and I thought, I don't need to be loyal to anyone because there's only one. And I felt so free then, that I can give a little piece to everyone. I just love them all in my heart. I just love you so much. I just love everybody so much.
Thank you so much. I love you too. Just one little thing maybe we can contemplate together, which is this sense of the more I'm disappearing, the more challenging life seems to get for me. So what this means is, if I'm disappear, then challenging for who? You see? So what you mean is that the more the sense of stability in my seeing, that I was never a person, that I am this awareness, the more the external seems to be jumping around now, isn't it? That's what it must mean. Trying to entice you with all the tricks that it has left, because it knows that it is getting close to game over now. So now what happens in this kind of situation happens? You must not pick up this sense that this is happening to me, because this is this me which is disappearing itself. You see? So this sense that I'm disappearing, but this is happening to me while I'm disappearing. But you are disappearing, you see, so it's not happening to you. It is just appearing in front of you. So this dance can happen like this, and sometimes it can seem very strong, because it might even seem like something is trying to pull you back. Something trying to pull you back. But then the fact is that once you remember the true position, that I was never inside the game anyway to start with. That is what I'm discovering. It is not that I am leaving the game. It is that I'm seeing that I was never inside the game. Then also what will happen is this feeling of back and forth, or this feeling of being pulled by one side or disappearing, this itself will also go. Because what does it mean when we say that I am disappearing? It means that I was never here. Not that I am really disappearing. It is the seeing that I was never here actually. All that was is this play of this beingness itself. Because we cannot find the one that is disappearing, nor the one to which anything is happening to. So we can speak like that conversationally is completely fine, but don't give this also any belief. Because then it becomes another journey. This back and forth becomes another journey. That, I was disappearing, but then this happened, and then this happened. No happening happened to you. No happening has ever happened to you. Therefore, nothing has ever really happened. So like this, can we chop off whatever this little bit of belief is also there? Can we just throw it away?
It's so true.
It's so true. So no desire even to disappear now. No desire even to disappear. Because the one that wants to disappear is again the personal voice. Person saying, I don't want to exist. But it doesn't exist already. Already, it never existed.
It's so true.
It's so true.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're so welcome.
When you speak, everything is so clear. And why can't we like this?
Why can't?
Why can't it always be like this?
Okay, then you make a note of when it is not like this next time. And you bring that list to satsang next time.
Thank you so much.
Also, what I want to tell you is that when I speak to you as consciousness, all of this is your doing. So there is no person here. That means then we can refer to each other as consciousness, as one consciousness, without still going to the ultimate perspective. If we take the perspective of God, then everything which is happening, every movement is your own doing. So you as God are playing with this game. Sometimes spicy, sometimes sweet, sometimes chocolate, sometimes bread. It's okay. See? And then when we see,
I remember you saying this to me when I was in Sydney with what was happening with my family. And when you said, it is all happening, it's the one consciousness. And that took me back to my peaceful space. And just now, you've done it again. So perfect. Sometimes one word is all we need. One word from the pure source that has no attachment. I love you, Father.
oh, I love you too, my dear.
Thank you. All my heart, thank you.
Thank you. We can dig just a little bit deeper also. I know this will sound a bit like policing, and what you said is very, very beautiful, but it's coming up here to dig just that one more step together, you see, which is that even this me who has found the peace, even this me, you give it to me. You see, because the state of peace will also go. So the state of peace will also go and something else will come, and then state of peace will also come back. So this one which is concerned even about peace or not peace, this one also you are not. You see like this?
Yes, I see it, Father.
When we come to our stateless freedom, you see, the stateless freedom, where all states are allowed to come and to go, and we remain unconcerned, untouched, unmoved. Although externally all of this movement can happen, conversation can happen, but truly no belief is coming to this feeling that I am now peaceful or I am now something.
I see that even peacefulness is just another state. It's just another state. That's all. Appearing in this.
Very good, my dear. Very, very good. Very good.
Because I don't know how to give, you have to take it from me.
Okay, if Nitya is here, she wanted to come up. She can come for some time.
Actually, I don't know if it's can you mute?
Can you mute?
Okay. Can you hear me now? Yes, no? um, 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 I think it's just good to come up and show myself. And I just wanted you to lead me home again somehow, but actually listening to everyone is like has the same effect, and especially like listening to Lucia, and it was just very helpful to listen to Lucia, because I just totally got lost in all this identity stuff, and it was so beautiful to right now that you pointed out the peaceful state, and it doesn't matter if there's a chaos state or peaceful state. It's both are not me, you know. And this brought peace to me. I don't know. And there's often so much belief I just get caught in that, and really sometimes I think I am truly the most arrogant one in the world. There's so many judgments here, and like you said, it's all the play of consciousness in a way, you know? And I just want to it's just so beautiful that nothing matters, no matter how stupid or this one is playing out, or it cannot change what I'm truly. And just thank you. Thank you for letting me coming up.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. Very beautiful. See? So once it is seen that even the state of peace is not important to me in reality, then that itself, like she said, is very peaceful. Because no state we are to chase. All the beauty, all these beautiful states in the world are here to serve your being. So just in this discovery of yourself, you will find that you don't need to be attached to or chase any state. All states are coming and going for you. Also, don't believe that I am the most arrogant or something like this. Any thought believed in is already the most arrogant. Any thought believed in is the most arrogant because it presumes the presence of a person which is separate from God. Then we don't need to measure that I am most arrogant or he is most arrogant or she. It's all the same guy anyway. And no arrogance can survive your withdrawing of belief. Nothing. No identity can survive our withdrawal of belief. Thank you, my dear. Omkar had a question. He said, "Beloved Father, it feels like I have to take on an identity to ask a question. Otherwise, there is just space." The role play can happen very naturally in consciousness. You can be walking on a road and you ask a passerby, should I take left or right? Yeah. So the role play can happen within consciousness as long as there is no confusion about what you are, as long as there is no belief that you are really lost, then all this playing can happen. And when you as consciousness have had enough of this playing, then the playing itself will stop. All of this is your play as consciousness. Even through all of this, we can see that consciousness is pretending to be this or that. As long as we know that it is only pretending, then it is not trouble. Once you take the pretense to be reality and the truth to be a pretense, that is when trouble comes. This answers Tina's question also, which was whether it is always only God moving, talking. Yes, yes, because only God exists. Only God exists. No person has ever existed. And Petra said something very beautiful. She said, this reminds me of Muji saying, God is playing as you, not with you. Just like we say, no, that if you want to see God pretending to be a person, believe your next thought. That's it. Just check if somebody at the door, because Ananya was meant to come at 1:15. He's gone. Are we saying something? So much for one word satsang. Yes. You want to sing or say something? Sing.
Tvameva mata tapita tvameva tvameva bandhu sakha tvameva tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. You alone are my mother and father. You are my true family and friend. You are my knowledge and true wealth. You are everything, oh my supreme. Tvameva mata chapita tvameva tvameva bandhu sakha tvameva tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. You are everything, oh my supreme Lord.
Yeah, I would understand that we can all sing together, but I have to get the words. The words are very easy.
Krishna Krishna Govinda Gopala Hari Om Namo Narayana Hari Om Krishna Krishna Govinda Gopala Hari Om Namo Narayana Hari Om Govinda Namo Narayana Gopala Namo Narayana Namo Krishna Krishna Govinda Gopala Hari Om Namo Narayana Hari Om Krishna Krishna Govinda Gopala Hari Om Namo Narayana Hari Om Govinda Namo Narayana Gopala Namo Narayana Namo Krishna Krishna Govinda Gopala Hari Om Namo Narayana Hari Om Govinda Namo Narayana Gopala Namo Narayana Namo Krishna Krishna Govinda Gopala Hari Om Namo Narayana Hari Om Govinda Namo Narayana Gopala Namo Narayana Namo Krishna Krishna Govinda Hari Om Namo Narayana Hari Om Namo Narayana Namo Krishna Krishna
It's like never ending.
Should do that next time. Also, very good for Krishna.
Yeah, it's genius.
My loves. Thank you, Claire. Thank you for moderating. We can play the invocations now.
Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru
Gurudeva Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Dhyanamoolam Gurur Murti Pujamulam Gurur Padam Mantramulam Gurur Vakyam Mokshamulam Gurur Kripa Mokshamulam Murjiji Kripa Mokshamulam Anantaji Kripa Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sakina Sarve Santu Niramya Sarve Patrani Pashantu Magaschit Bhak Bhavet Asato Masat Kamiya Tamaso Ma Jyotir Gamiya Mrichur Ma Amritam Gamiya Om Purnamida Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachite Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Brahma Paramastu Om Shri Satguru Bhagavan Ki Jai Om Shri Satguru Mujiji Ki Jai.
Thank you all so much for being in Satsang today. Sadguru Shri Mujiji Ki Jai.
Sadguru Shri Anantaji Ki Jai.
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 J.
Jai.
Thank you all so much, so much. You can turn the broadcast off now, my dear. Thank you.